we're going to start the introduction to the Protoss race. Now, something that's going to be very important is for you to keep track of where my mouse is on the screen, this green arrow, because a lot of how you play StarCraft is with the mouse. So I'm going to be making a point of describing exactly what my mouse is doing on a lot of occasions, and you need to be able to see what my mouse is doing and where it's going. So keep track of it. The first thing to talk about as we load into a new StarCraft game is the camera. The camera gives you your view of the game world. Right now, our camera is looking at our starting position with our initial building and first few units, but we can move the camera around to look at other parts of the world. The main way of moving the camera is by pushing our mouse up against one of the sides of our screen. So if I push my mouse to the left, the camera moves to the left. If I push my mouse right up against the right-hand side of the screen moves to the right. The camera moves to the right. And the camera will keep moving in that direction as long as my mouse stays against that edge of the screen until the camera reaches the far edge of the map and can't go any further. If you look in the bottom left, this is called the mini-map. This provides an overview of the whole game world that you can see here. This white rectangle shows where my camera is in the game world. It shows what I'm looking at right now. So as I move my mouse to the edge of the screen, you can see that white rectangle moves up as the camera moves up. White rectangle moves down as I push the camera down. And I can bring the camera back to where it started. Now, because the camera only moves as long as your mouse is on the edge of the screen, a lot of the time when you want to move the camera to a specific spot, you will push your mouse against the edge of the screen and then pull it back almost immediately, like this. This lets you control with a bit more precision where the camera ends up. But a lot of new players in StarCraft find that it is too difficult to get the camera exactly where they want it just by using the mouse on the edge of the screen. There is another way you can move the camera around, and sometimes new players find this is an easier way of doing it. You can move the camera with the arrow keys on your keyboard. If I press the left arrow key, if I just tap it and release it, tap, 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 I move the camera to the left. If I tap the up arrow key, tap, the camera moves up. If I hold down the up arrow key, the camera will continue to move up. Holding it down, the camera moves. And if I hold down the down arrow key, the camera comes back down again. So sometimes people find that the arrow keys are easier to use, especially when you're starting out, to get the camera exactly where you want it. But ultimately, the mouse is the main way you control the camera most of the time. There is a third option for controlling the camera, and that is you can left-click with your mouse on the minimap. Wherever you left-click on the minimap, your camera will jump to. So I can left-click in the far top left of this minimap, and you can see the white rectangle jumped up there. It's not over my base anymore. Or I can left-click over here. Or I can left-click in the bottom left. Or on the center left. And I can jump the camera to wherever I want. That's good for moving the camera long distances, such as between your main base and your enemy's base. If I click back on my starting position, the camera is back where we started. So that is how you control the camera in StarCraft.